Over the weekend, we saw the first armed uprising against Vladimir Putin since he took charge nearly 23 years ago. This conflict has been brewing for months, but on Saturday it really spilled over.
Leader of the Russian mercenary Wagner group calling for an armed mutiny.
This is an act that senior members of the Russian military intelligence are calling a coup attempt.
Prigozhin has been blaming the Ministry of Defense for not giving him enough ammunition, for not fighting well enough in Ukraine. Specifically, he's been raging on against the head of the Defense Ministry, Sergei Shoigu, and the head of the army, Gerasimov.
Shoigu! Gerasimov!
So these were very personal, intense attacks. But for months we thought these were just words. Prigozhin claimed that the Ministry of Defense fired on his Wagner camp in eastern Ukraine. Soon after, he announced that he was going to avenge his soldiers and declared war on the Ministry of Defense. Russia was always quite secretive about the existence of the Wagner group. It used it for plausible deniability in different areas. But after the war in Ukraine started, Wagner really came out of the shadows. And that's where sort of Prigozhin emerged. He proposed this idea of creating a private military company who could act on the interests of the Russian government. The Wagner group was sent to Syria during Russia's military intervention. And afterwards, from there, Wagner really expanded into Africa. It's been present in several countries. Most notably in the Central African Republic and Mali. Many of the Wagner soldiers are personally loyal to Prigozhin and see him as their leader, not Vladimir Putin. Putin's relationship with Prigozhin is now most certainly over. Putin said that Prigozhin committed treason, he said he stabbed Russia in the back, and he said that Wagner had to be liquidated.
Организаторы мятежа, предав свою страну, свой народ, предали и тех, кого втянули в преступление, лгали им. Именно такого исхода братоубийства хотели враги России и неонацисты в Киеве, и их западные покровители, и разного рода национал-предатели.
These are very strong words and a very emotional address to the nation. By the evening, however, he was forced probably to make a deal with Prigozhin.
The leader of the Wagner group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has ordered his mercenaries to turn around and return to their bases.
For Putin to make this deal obviously makes him look weak. Putin values loyalty, and Prigozhin did the one thing that Putin hates most. So long as Prigozhin exists, Putin will always be reminded of this one man that challenged his power. What happened had such a big impact, I think, on his image, not only outside of the country, but for Russians themselves, who for the first time saw that others could just take in a city and nothing happens to them. To what extent he will be able to recover from this reputational damage remains unclear. It's likely that purchase will follow. Putin was already very paranoid about his grip on power. That will only increase going forward. And much will depend on Ukraine's counteroffensive. Of course, if Ukraine has a successful counteroffensive, there will be only more instability in Moscow.